This is the Still Nameless Podcast. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Still Nameless Podcast. This is a very special Westworld edition. Before we jump right into it, let me introduce everyone on the show. I'm Evan.
I'm Dustin.
I'm Sam.
Becca.
And today we had a season finale of Westworld watch party. We've immediately started recording this after watching the show, so we haven't had too much time to digest it. Some of us are half asleep. Some of us, like myself, had a Red Bull. We're ready to go. Ooh, we have some very, very different opinions on the show. Some of us like it. Some of us hate it. Some of us are indifferent, on the fence. Some of us are sentient robots just here to appease you.
Becca.
Guys, just because I haven't seen Night Before Christmas doesn't mean I'm a fucking
That's
robot.
only the tip of the iceberg.
I'm conscious.
Jock jams.
Have you completed your maze? So we found out a lot tonight.
Yeah.
We found out the purpose of the maze. It's not for you humans.
You humans? Why do you phrase
It's
it
for
that
a robot
way?
to become a human.
Because if Becca's not the
Basically.
robot, then who is?
There's one among us.
We found out that Jimmy, I keep calling him Jimmy.
Jimmy?
His actor's name is
Don't call
Jimmy.
me Billy.
Billy and
McBoyle.
McBoyle.
Yeah.
And the Man in Black are the same person, which
same guy.
was a long time coming.
Yeah.
I guess. I did not see that coming.
I think that's one of those things that's kind of hidden in the show, and then when you start reading like theories and stuff, you figure it out.
Yeah.
When people start kind of like,
But the theories were there early on.
Yeah.
Well, from like episode 1 or 2.
Yeah,
I would.
it's all there if you were like to watch it over and over again, like people do online.
I am not one to like go in search of theories online, so that was a shock. Like that was a surprise to me. I did not see that coming. It was a cool twist.
Yeah, and they absolutely hammered it on the head. If you didn't notice it, they were
Right.
like, at the very end, they're like, all right, fade to his face if you haven't figured this out by now.
The guy in black. Or
You always call him the guy.
I
That's
know.
so...
The guy,
That does the
Is the
discredit
man-
to him.
The Man in Black doesn't roll off my tongue.
It's better
'cause
than
I
the
wanna
guy in
say-
black. That sounds
I want to say Men
goofy.
in Black.
But there's just one of them.
Men in Black.
We don't have the royalties to that.
It kind of reminded me, and I was thinking about it, of the Jon Snow reveal in Game of Thrones. Spoilers for anyone watching who hasn't watched Game of Thrones. And how they were like showing you that it wasn't really Ned's son,
right.
that it was Lyanna, and they kind of did the fade from like the baby to Jon.
Right.
And to me, I was like, oh, that's really corny. But I guess to people who still hadn't gotten it,
I don't know.
maybe that would have been like, oh, really?
That scene of the Man in Black.
Nailed it.
I was like, she having a stroke.
Yeah, right?
I had to really
You know,
think
Ed
about
Harris
that.
kind of looks
Really
like Tommy Jones.
Really doesn't
The
roll
guy in
off your
black.
tongue.
When the
That's
guy in black
terrible
looks
name.
up underneath the hat and it's him, you know, like that like pivotal scene where it was like, yes, Billy is the Man in Black.
Don't call me Billy.
I thought that scene was cheesy too. That was like a bit much.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an argument about the show about a lot of the cheesy stuff.
There's definitely some cornballery. I'll call it that.
Absolutely.
The romance with Dolores.
Yeah. I'm glad that the scene on the beach turned out to be like intendedly
Yeah.
cheesy romance, because that was like laughably bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're like, really, we're here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's kind of a function of setting it in a Western, because like Westerns stories at least are cheesy, so it kind of fits in with the fact that they place it in the West.
Yeah, and I think it also fits in the fact that they're like robots made to be like certain type. Like Maeve is this like typical whorehouse like den mother.
Smarter than she looks, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Definitely.
like wily and crafty.
So throughout this whole season, Dustin has been very against Westworld.
I absolutely hate watch it. I think it's the only thing I hate watch right now, and it's only because there's such conversation about it.
Right.
I just want to be involved, I guess.
Right. So can you give us like what are your top 3 complaints maybe, or
I just think they shoot for mystery above everything else, and it comes at the expense of like well drawn characters, I guess, in my opinion.
okay.
I don't know, and it's just I think the other problem is that I built it up to be a really good show because the last Western on HBO is like one of my favorite shows of all time.
Deadwood?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like maybe looking for it to fill a hole that it wasn't necessarily looking to fill. Sup?
Are you laughing at the fact he said fill the hole?
At me.
It's coming as like a depressed teenager. Like I just needed something to cope with the pain. And it's like move on, bro. Move on. Let
Shots
love in
fired.
again. Let love in again.
Just quote U2 at me.
So for me, a lot of the show that I like is that mystery, and it's not just not knowing; it's talking to people, and it's that conversation. That's why I loved Lost. Now I always say I enjoyed the destination more. I enjoyed the journey more than the destination. I loved that weekly. Oh, did you see that episode? What did you think of that? Like, what do you think's going on? Why do you think this character is suddenly not in a wheelchair? Like, what do you think the smoke monster is? What's in the hatch? Like, I love that, like, that shrouded mystery. And although Lost didn't pay off as well, I think this show so far has paid off really well.
Yeah, it's definitely provided answers. But it also seems like with every answer comes like 3 more mysteries that they're going to have to wait to find out down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. And that makes
keep
me
you watching.
Like, that concerns me that the writers don't have a plan. And here we are all, like, scheming ideas and theories that this person's that person or whatever. But meanwhile, the writers are just like, meh.
But I mean, like, haven't they gained your trust by now? Like, you
I
just watched
think
a whole
I
season
have-
that, like, put it all in a neat bow at the end.
I have a big, deep
I
wound
still have
from
issues.
Lost. So I think, like, I have trust issues because of Lost.
So it sounds like the show right now for you two is revealing your inner selves a little bit.
Maybe.
Probably.
Which
showing
isn't
you
that
the
the
things
point?
that you
Isn't
really-
that the point of the maze?
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the maze.
I was like super into it, and that last episode kind of turned me off a little bit.
Really?
Like it was just a little too bow tying up. I
Well,
was
they
just
didn't
kind of
know
like,
they were definitely going to get a second season, so they had to kind of put it in a spin where it's like this was a definitive end.
I just don't understand how it's going to continue from here. Like you have
Ooh,
It's going to be...
you have people.
What? It's going to be robots versus
It's
humans.
going to
from
be
now
Planet
on.
of the
Yeah.
Apes, but
Well,
they
Planet
left
of
out-
the Robots.
They didn't address one big question mark from last episode in this episode, which was little baby Hemsworth brother. I don't know if he might actually be
Is
the
he the
oldest.
baby? He looks
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
the
He's
oldest.
the small
Or
one.
middle. I'd say middle.
Yeah, he's little Matt Damon Hemsworth brother.
Yeah.
They didn't address what happened with him.
The
at
security
all.
guard.
And the
Or
Ghost Nation.
the Ghost Nation.
Or
Right.
That's what they're
Yeah.
really called.
Yeah.
Ghost Nation.
Ghost Nation.
Gotcha,
Rise up.
Yeah, because they left him off as freeze all function and him being like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing
Yeah.
good happened to him. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Or maybe I've heard some interesting theories.
They
that
made
are
him
like
their
that
god.
He's
He's
no.
recruited.
That Elsie, the one that found like the she's the one who uncovered the plot that they were getting all the they're trying to get the dad out of the park.
Yeah.
And then Bernard is seen to have thought like you think he kills her,
Extra out.
but if
Okay.
he didn't kill her, then maybe she became part of
Bringing-
that Ghost Nation.
Bringing up that side story.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Arnold that was, or whoever.
Bernard.
Bernard,
Bernardo?
Arnold, Ford,
Bernard.
all of them.
In the thing.
Like,
Oh, wait.
emitting the signal?
No. The people emitting the signal was his girlfriend, Teresa, with a blonde girl. She was doing it on behalf of the board.
Yeah.
Because
that
they were
one
trying to
girl.
get out
Yeah,
the
but-
data that Ford had so that they could oust him as like...
How was Arnold tied to that thing? Because Elsie, like,
Bernard.
found Arnold's
Elsie
signal.
found the signal, and then she found... she uncovered a little bit, like... in the data, she kind of uncovered some of what Ford had done, and
she
so
was just
Ford
looking
knew
for
that she was finding out this information because no one had this information yet. So while the board's trying to get this information out of the park, this would be very damning to him. So he had
Gotcha.
Bernard
Gotcha.
theoretically off her
Makes sense.
because she found it.
Makes sense. There's just some, like, logistical complaints I have.
Who's a human? Who's not a human?
Yeah, right. Oh, I
I
love
don't
that
like that you
scene.
still don't know who's like.
Or there's
it's
a way
also,
to
like,
tell.
It could be a robot at any point except
Yeah.
for people that just died, actually. So now
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, who's a human?
Right. But, like, there's also, from, like, a financial standpoint, if I was running a park like that, how many storylines are happening where humans aren't involved, and what a waste of money and waste of production. And
So you're worried about the budget.
So I'm
Well,
saying,
did you see
like,
all
if they're
those board
looking for
members?
someone a new manager,
Finance
I think I could really shaping things up in that part.
I mean, you could until they murder you in a back
Yeah,
room.
it sounds like
Yeah.
And
anytime you
apparently no
work for that
cameras.
company, you're at risk of dying.
That place has the
Probably.
worst security.
Yeah.
That too.
Oh my god!
Like the stuff that's going on.
Everybody that works there
How-
seems generally stupid, except
How
for
did,
like the
okay,
absolute higher ups.
How is no one watching the cameras ever?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been so
much
many
stuff.
They may not even know
Right.
they have cameras.
And they have
But no,
to
but
be.
they show it when they
Yeah,
the
they
one
definitely
the
do.
one guy who's fucking the robots in the back.
There's
She's
cameras
like,
You mean
everywhere.
everyone? You mean
Yeah,
every
yeah,
single person that
basically.
works there?
but then she like blackmailed him with that information.
Everybody
Because
does
he was
it.
doing it to the dead body ones.
That-
or
yeah,
something,
that's-
which is like she was like, oh, do you want everyone to know you're into necrophilia?
They're
And he's
all
like,
kind of gross people.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
What's it matter
I
if
mean,
one
maybe
of
you
them's
have
dead?
to like sewing up such human-looking like things and seeing how gruesomely
They
beat up
seem to
they
just
are.
look the other way.
Maybe they're like when they do their hiring process, they're finding people that are.
Deviants?
Well, Ford
Crazies.
made a comment about that when he was having that dinner or lunch or whatever with Teresa, and he's like, "Oh, like we vet everyone who comes into this park, and we especially vet
We
our
look for the
employees."
weirdos.
Like insinuating that he knew that she had come there before and was like, "I know you. I know who you
Right.
are."
Which is a whole nother thing, like him destroying that whole side of the park.
Mm-hmm.
What
For
the
his,
heck?
well, he did it
But
to
wait.
uncovered the.
Right. So, did he have explosives set up, or does he have control over the land? Or did he, I should say, have
What do you
control?
mean?
Like, is the land
Like an
fake,
ocean
too?
just popped up, is what you're asking.
Yeah.
Well,
Did that just
we
pop
saw
up?
those like gigantic machines that were just like ripping out.
digging into the.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's all just.
And they like made comments about how much like he was spending like tearing up all the park. They were like, he just suddenly is tearing up half the park. Like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, all in the name of his new narrative that no one knows what it is, which really was
Suicide.
suicide, murder, suicide, the whole board.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That's a.
Another reveal was that there's a world for every
Yes.
fetish you may have.
South World or whatever.
What world would you guys go to?
I don't know what
what's
were the
North
choices?
World? Is
Like,
it
just
Vikings?
assume that there's choices for
Alright.
everything. Where would you go?
I would probably go to the east.
East
What's,
world.
what's an East World?
You're just selecting
Just
it on
like-
the
Is the question of what I
It doesn't even have to
anticipate
be a
would be in
direction.
the
It could
east?
be like
Just
just
pick
a
like
thing,
a-
like a
like
culture, like a
fantasy,
genre.
medieval,
So
space.
the only two we have
It makes me
confirmed
think of, like,
are
Lego
Westworld,
settings.
which is like Western, SW, which we assume is South World, and it's like samurais.
I would
Japan,
go
like-
to Aquatic World where there were mermaids and shit.
Ooh,
Would you
okay.
live on? Would that be living in the water
Aquaworld.
though?
I
You'd go
think
to
you
a
would
world
just
where
like
you
go
die?
and visit. Go and visit them.
I mean, if we can
You
assume
can, like,
that
scuba
these
dive.
worlds exist, we can assume that they
There's
made
technology.
some kind
Yeah.
of
All right, that's fair.
gill
That's fair.
technology.
It's
Like
a
Harry
gill
Potter.
technology, not just like an oxygen tank.
No, they cut holes in their neck. They're
Gill
very
technology.
aerodynamic.
So
Or-
we're able to take water and turn it into oxygen.
yeah.
So you live in water. What would you do?
I don't know. That was a good idea.
That was my
I would
answer.
took mine.
also go to like with the Eskimos.
North
That would
World?
be- yeah, North World. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Medieval times, possibly.
Oh,
That
that'd be
seems
fun.
awful.
You would,
Right.
Quality
the
of
dirty,
life. The quality of life.
right,
Yeah,
the
you're taking
stink.
quality of life there.
All I can think about is when I see medieval movies or shows or whatever, is like, what are you smelling?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Not
I mean,
good. Ripe.
It's a world without toilets. and
Yeah.
toilet paper.
So
Yeah.
that's a concern.
Big concern.
It's interesting. It's like tough to say though, because there are certain times you want to be a part of, but you want to be a part of like a certain, like Palace of Versailles. I would love to be in that when that was going.
So you're assuming that you would
Go back in
automatically
time?
I
go
wanna
to the
be
best
royal.
possible part of the
I
time?
would
Yeah.
love also
Yeah,
to be
okay.
Queen Elizabeth.
I guess you can if you're paying buku bucks. You can be queen.
Yeah, that's my thing. I would have to be like the closest to now timeline of theirs.
Yeah.
I have a certain like standard of living I
Yeah,
need.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You don't go somewhere to be a pauper.
toilets and showers.
Yeah.
And
But
Absolutely.
like, okay, so say these worlds exist.
Mm-hmm.
It just the way that the people would go into these parks and just like having a park where you could just go and kill whoever you wanted. Like, how could society allow
it's
that?
like the Purge,
It's
but
like a video
for
game.
robots.
it's like an outlet, so you don't kill people in real life.
It-
Like,
and I don't.
but then that
But
blurs
that
the
also could,
lines
like,
between.
sensitize you or
like video-
desensitize
it's like a video
you
game.
and
Yeah,
be like,
so what do you
I
think
can
about-
shoot this robot. That
It's
What do you
looks
think about
just
video
like-
Yeah,
games? then,
it's
though?
just an advanced
Like
ass
Grand
video
Theft
game.
Auto. You literally are running over humans.
That's a big argument of video games.
But it's been statistically like proven that video games
But
don't link to
different.
violence.
That is different. Like a life robot that you could touch and have feelings for.
If you know it's a robot, then
Yeah.
like that's why I can't care about the show because I know most of them are robots. I don't
Right.
care about them.
I don't know.
I would
it
probably
just-
kill every one of them if I had the chance. And fuck
But okay, so it
half
is
of
just
them.
a show and it's just for fun. Why do you have people in there that are like treating it like real life?
Because they're saying that it's a reflection of real life.
See, it's just
So you don't think it is a reflection?
It's
of real life?
immersion. That's like what some of the best
That's
video
the
games
question,
do.
yeah.
is
I
you
know
get
it-
immersed in this world,
right.
and like
and
you feel like that main character. You
and I
feel
know
like
it's a TV show and like it's a TV show, but I just
Barely.
can't get over. I can't get over the practicality of the story.
I'm with you.
It just sometimes I get frustrated by it.
Which part? Because it sounds like you need to just accept that it's a show.
I know.
You're
I
very like, well, this case society
I know.
wouldn't work.
And I don't know what it is.
Suspend disbelief for a minute.
I know. I don't know what it is about the show that I can't get over that.
I mean, you watch Game of Thrones and you're like, this is cool. Yeah, I get it.
Right.
I'm fine with zombies walking around.
Well, sci-fi, I think, is hard to do that because it's hard to imagine technology in that advanced state, and so it's hard to get on board with that when it's so disconnected from what. It's like, yeah, Game of Thrones happened because that. Not like Game of Thrones happened with dragons and shit,
Medieval
It did
happened.
happen.
but
yeah,
medieval
it's like
happened,
Okay, it
and
happened.
dragons are definitely real.
Real.
It's like where that legend
Clearly.
come from. Like it
Yeah.
started somewhere.
Direwolves are a real thing.
Yeah.
You know, magic. It's real.
Samson
That's fine.
Evans right there.
The Walking Dead. That's legit.
Which I'm glad that they didn't make the army at the end look like an army of zombies because like
Well, they're not zombies.
we've already done that
Been here.
in Game of Thrones. We've done that in Walking Dead.
You know what they did steal from Game of Thrones? Having your subservient thing shave your face.
Oh yeah.
That's what Reek did to.
Yep.
You know, Hope was like, is he going to slit his
Yeah.
throat? No, he's not going to. Just like a robot won't.
Speaking of direwolves, why did that husky run through the town?
Yeah, that was
Symbolism.
like
Of what?
I don't
husky?
know exactly. Maybe like
You
the
didn't
lone
see
wolf running away.
Yeah.
You saw it, you liar.
I swear, no, today?
it?
Yeah, the wolf
That's
that ran
when
by
she
and
yelled,
she made the direwolf joke.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It was a good joke.
Because he sees Teddy turns around, sees Dolores on the dead bodies, and the
Yeah,
wolf
yeah.
runs by. It's
Everyone
also
laughed.
when we watch the trailer. It's in the trailer.
Well, aren't we in his memory at that point? Isn't
yeah,
it a memory?
It was because he's
So it
seeing
could
all the
just
dead
be-
bodies.
analyze it, Dustin. Analyze it.
It could have not been there.
He probably views himself as a wolf in the boardroom. So.
It's Teddy though.
Yeah. You could still be a wolf in the boardroom.
A wolf in a pack. Not the head wolf, maybe, is that he's seeing.
Film theory 101.
Shut up, Sam.
That's so wrong.
Did you say dumb theory
I
101?
said film theory. I like yours better though.
Dumb theory 101.
Dumb theory 101. Jeez,
She failed that. We have to take her to 100.
idiots.
Dumb theories 100.
Check out my YouTube channel.
It's coming soon. To mewap.com.
So,
Subscribe, like.
So, are there any other glaring questions about the show besides the huge hole of the security not being completely non-existent? That was my biggest gripe with the
So
show.
if Dolores is Wyatt,
Mm-hmm.
then the whole time wasn't Teddy working with her, but then also he was
That's why he's drawn to her. right?
No, but he was trying to kill her. So it was
Teddy was never trying to kill her.
well, no, Teddy was trying to kill Wyatt.
He was trying to find. Yeah,
He was
So
trying to
if
find
Dolores
Wyatt.
is Wyatt,
Yeah.
and
There's
then
so many
who was the
movies.
manifestation of Wyatt? Who that blonde guy? Who's that? If Dolores is
That was
So,
a
well, that
fake
was-
memory put
yeah,
into
so
Teddy's brain.
Ford
Gotcha.
reprogrammed Teddy to not remember the incident when they killed the whole town, her and Dolores, when Arnold was originally killed.
He
Ford?
remembered it
Ford,
differently.
yeah, exactly. He kept
Ford, like,
remembering it
rewrote
differently.
it in Teddy's
He
brain.
rewrote it as a different.
Why?
Like,
Why would Ford do that?
Because
so that he
Teddy was
didn't-
the one that was killing people. So Ford rewrote it so he probably,
So he
I don't
didn't
know,
quite-
maybe to
Because-
to
help
not have
William.
him remember it, because in his
Because
original
weren't-
memory of it, it was Wyatt that killed everyone.
Because
and then when he saw that
slowly-
guy who was like, no, it was you,
Right.
then he remembered like, oh shit, I killed all those people.
But he didn't know
And
why.
he always remembered those people as soldiers until later on when he was like,
no,
wait, those
that
are
I
just
understand.
townspeople.
But it's Arnold's doing. It's Arnold's coding
Arnold
that's telling him
did
to doing
that
that. So why would
originally.
and weren't Arnold and Forbes against each other? So why would Forbes
Not
do that?
originally.
No,
They
that
were
was-
originally- they were
that
partners.
was
No,
like,
right. But at the end, towards the end.
At the end? Oh, well,
Or no,
so
it's revealed
Arnold
that-
just got really upset that he didn't like get the robots to be free, right? And he
it
was
wasn't that he
frustrated.
didn't
He wasn't
get the
ready for
robots
the
to be
park to
free.
get open.
It was that he kind of got the robots to a point where they were sentient enough that he felt terrible that they were going to be put in this endless loop of like torture.
right. So
And so he wanted to just destroy it all,
Right. So
including
then
himself, because he couldn't live with himself basically being like the creator of this kind of evil and these people. Like he looked at Dolores like his son,
right.
and he put her in this infinity loop where she couldn't die, but she was going to be murdered and raped and
Right.
all that terrible fun
So
stuff.
then wouldn't erasing the memories of Teddy be helping that? And that's not what his motives are?
Ford
Yeah.
sort of erased it, but kind of wanted his motive to remain Dolores. And then when he was creating this new timeline, new narrative, he wanted Teddy to be kind of to hunt down Wyatt because he wanted him there for that end bit to murder the board with him, I believe.
But I think also Ford got to a point where he kind of took on Arnold's mission and wanted because I mean he just fully supported a robot rebellion.
Yeah, but when did that happen? Because for a long time he was saying Arnold lost his mind. You don't want to have those thoughts. But he was talking to
Who's-
Bernard. Oh, so confusing.
Well, Bernard is Arnold.
I
so
know.
maybe
That's
he
what
was
I'm
Bernardo.
like. I like this show has a very unique way of
Bernardo.
just actually making
Fucking your
you
mind.
feel, yeah, like you're just as crazy as the motherfucking crazies because
See,
you're
I-
just like,
I
what is
interpret
real?
that
What
it's
is
just-
life?
There's too much going on. It's like
Where
a
are we?
million
When
more
are
for
we?
me.
Right, and that's the thing that I never
All the time.
I did not even question the timelines.
Really?
I mean, yeah, there was like the obvious flashbacks or whatever, but other than that, I was like, this is all happening at the same time.
Well, for me with the timelines, I knew that there was something off, mainly because you keep seeing them start in a loop. So like everyone obviously knew that it's, the time is a little bit off here. But B, the fact that Jonathan Nolan was one of the producers on it, and he's the guy who wrote Memento. So
Did
it's like
he write it?
Yeah, he wrote it
Christopher
and then
Nolan wrote it.
directed it. Jonathan Nolan wrote the short story
Wow.
that his brother then directed.
Interesting.
So-
Which I need to rewatch.
So like
that.
when you consider that this is like the spawn of J.J. Abrams and
This is
Jonathan
what
Nolan,
they do.
it's like
J.J.
Memento
Abrams.
and Lost put together.
I mean, if you can make Felicity, you can make the world.
And with that,
Felicity.
But and like now that there were all these different timelines, one of my biggest complaints in the beginning of the show is when like you kept seeing Dolores and at that time you thought Bernard having these meetings and you're like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
If they keep pulling the hosts down for meetings, like guests would notice that. Like and
Well, I think they're trying to make you think that it's like during their loop, they keep pulling them out because they have to fix them and they have to update them,
right, or just to
roll
check
them back
things.
or whatever it is.
Yeah. But, like, I was like, they can't be pulling robots down this often with so many guests in the park. That was one of my major, like,
they
not
said at one
buying
point
it.
they have people fill in roles when that happens. Like if one falls out, another steps in.
Like when they
Yeah.
replaced Dolores'
I
dad.
was just gonna say,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But now that these were multiple timelines, that makes more sense. That it was Arnold, not Bernard, having meetings with her.
So are we just done seeing young William now? Now that we know,
Yeah,
like
I
the
would
purpose
imagine.
was to show how he became the Man in Black, right?
Yeah.
So now
And
he's probably
showed
just out.
Dolores' original,
He's outie.
like,
But Man in Black's not
True.
dead,
Yeah, I know, but we know why he became Man in Black now. Like that was his.
right?
I
right.
think
Just
that
gone.
storyline.
And who he is.
Yeah. I think that storyline also was to guide Dolores. Like, I think Ford or Arnold used it to their advantage, and that was our idea that Teddy is based off of young Billy.
This is
Because
ridiculous.
Dolores
I don't know if
needed
that
someone.
I don't know if that theory is true at all.
No,
the
because
Teddy,
Billy
but
is
yeah.
because Billy's not a host. You can't.
But like
No,
that
but
happened
is.
maybe, and they were like, "Let's do this. Let's have a guy fall in love with Dolores."
Dolores needed someone to push her. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot that's confusing. It's a lot to digest, especially just like we just finished watching the episode.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are thinking robots take over?
Oh, season 2.
Armageddon season 2.
Planet of the Robots.
I think it's going to be Ghost Nation versus Maeve Nation.
Possibly.
Or just like, yeah, it's like the Robot Rebellion. I'm curious though, because like
who is Ghost Nation?
Exactly.
Is it the guests?
Are they robots?
That's the thing.
Are they guests that were like
that
they
was
saw
gonna
the future?
stay here?
That was the biggest question mark that they didn't answer in this episode. And I think they intentionally do that because that's going to be like the season 2 plot.
We didn't even see him.
Yeah,
It could be guests.
not even like a previously on, not to mention after the episode, nothing.
We'll see.
Little baby Hemsworth.
But
is
Snake
all-
Face or Snake Tattoo Girl, she lived.
Yeah, they did a little Marvel like
Yeah.
after the credits.
Which I
scene.
think is probably one of my favorite things that movies or TV shows can do.
Really? The
I
hangout
love
after
that.
the credits.
Yeah.
I liked it when it was like new. Now that it's
Right.
like now
On
every
every-
Marvel movie you go to, it's like okay,
No, but I like
when the
Marvel
credits are
does it.
over, I'm gonna see
There's
one,
the
and then I
thing.
gotta wait till after like the
Yeah.
there's like the credits and then there's the long credits.
But with
and there's one
Doctor
after
Strange,
both.
you get 2 tidbits.
That's what I'm saying. They do that a lot now though.
Ah.
Marvel's like just constantly doing the two.
Right.
twofer.
Overdone.
Yeah, when I think it peaked when they did the Avengers one, where they're all sitting in the diner, all the heroes, and they're just chilling eating.
Yeah.
That was the best one.
Yeah.
I always hated whenever like you sit and wait for the credits thinking that there's going to be something and
And
then
there's
there's not.
Yeah.
You're like,
That's what happens when you overuse it.
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
That's why I
TJ.
started looking it up on my cell phone.
Oh,
The
really?
second it's over, I'm like, all right, Google does have an after credit scene. I need
Man,
to know.
times before Google's on our phone, what did we do? So many time wasted.
Got
sitting there
lost a
waiting
lot
for-
driving around.
Mhm. Yeah.
Printed out MapQuest.
Yeah.
Called people and had their parents pick up.
Or leave a message on their answering machine.
Ugh.
Whatever. Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
Leave a message and I'll call you back.
When's the last time you left someone a voicemail?
I leave voicemails.
You leave voicemail still?
Yeah. No, I don't. That's a lie. That's a lie.
You get it.
I don't.
I don't even have mine set
That's
up, I
also
don't
a lie?
think.
Sometimes I do, but
Yeah, I think mine's just robotic. And it's always just like the people.
Evan.
Way to bring it
don't
full
respond to.
circle.
Yeah, right?
you
My answering machines become
Evan.
sentient.
That's all we can trust him with is our answering machines.
Well, I guess until next season.
Yeah.
Yeah, until next season when we can finally get some answers about the Ghost Nation.
Who
When
shot
is next
JR?
season coming?
2018.
Oh, what?
Which is what I said. I was like,
They-
that.
they
Like,
didn't know they were
that's
It's a
getting
big
season two.
undertaking, though. Like,
Yeah.
think about the
I know.
They have to
I know,
recast
but, like,
because it might not actually be this plot line. This
I
might
think
be
it's
like
gonna
South
be in the
World.
future.
backstory to what
I
happened
think
there.
it's going to be in the future. I think it's going to be a
Well, we have
time where
no-
the whole world is robots.
We have no frame of reference of what time period that
Yeah.
We haven't seen the
happened.
outside world or anything,
Yeah.
so we don't know if it's going to be.
We just know they have technology better than ours.
The closest we got was like at the terminal of the station
Yeah.
where they were speaking in a few different languages. So
Yeah, I know. So they would make announcements in English, and then you'd hear an announcement in like Japanese or something. And I
I
was just
think
like, oh,
it's
is that
in-
Southworld?
like Europe, like Britain or somewhere over there.
Or maybe it's a future world where all cultures are included.
Or a time where all the continents came back together and it's Pangea
Opposite Pangea.
Part 2. Well,
So
'cause-
Pangea
yeah,
they
like
expanded all the way
2.0.
around and
and
connected
spin out
again.
to the other side of the
Pangea
world.
2.0.
I like
Yeah.
that. Give me a show about that.
That's what it's going to be. And the robots are going to be... You know in Planet of the Apes when they find the Statue of Liberty in the beach?
Spoilers.
I mean, isn't that the very end?
Yes.
It was Earth all along.
It was Earth the whole time. And they thought that they were on a different planet.
Yep.
But it was Earth in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen.
That they're gonna realize they were on Earth.
It's going to be robots riding on horses on a beach, and Statue of Liberty is sticking up in the sand.
Book it.
Oh, damn you, filthy robots! Damn you to... All right, that concludes this Westworld episode of the podcast, special edition, dedicated to one episode, to one season of one show. Next time, we'll actually go back to our normal format of news and silly games and fun. So make sure to check out the website, mewop.com. That's the first place where we upload all these. Then we upload them on iTunes, YouTube, wherever you find it. Make sure to like, leave a comment, subscribe. We really appreciate it. As always, thank you for listening.